Whew. For the past week, it has been the closest the world has ever come to nuclear war. But fortunately, the ancient proverb proved wise again. The dog that barks don't bite, aka the Iranian Islamic regime. Israel went from wiping out Hamas to disabling Hezbollah, and then all the way to Iran to cut off the head of the snake. This is straight up out of the John Wick movie franchise, yo.
Yeah.
And most importantly, out of it all, Israel might have done Taiwan a huge favor. Because the biggest loser of this war ain't the Iranian regime, it's Trump's good old best friend.
China! China!
Israel versus Iran. This might be the most dramatic war in modern history. Within just a few hours, Israel's Mossad, along with its air force, took out nearly the entirety of Iran's oppressive regime.
Israeli strikes 14 Iranian nuclear scientists, 8 generals, and other high-ranking officers. Israeli strikes have dealt a major blow to Iran's military chain of command.
The IAF has struck a facility used to manufacture centrifuges in Tehran that was designed to enable the Iranian regime to expand the scale and speed of its uranium enrichment to develop nuclear weapons.
And it wasn't just about taking out people, they also destroyed many of Iran's key nuclear facilities and scientists at the exact same time. This is the type of plot you could only see in a Mission Impossible movie.
I can understand you're very upset.
Kittredge, you've never seen me very upset.
Israel 不可能的任务变成有可能的任务之后呢，老川 did some straight up Simpsons level shit.
We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but is safe there. We are not going to take him out. At least not for now.
This has got to be the most content-ready comedic president America has ever seen. He's so worried people might understand take him out that he clarifies with kill.
It's not easy doing what I do, is it?
What? Is he afraid that people might think that take him out actually means asking the supreme leader out on a date?
Okay, just to be clear, take them out means to kill, not to take them out on a date. I mean, Muslims are great. They're really great people, but I don't like them that much. Nothing personal, I just like Americans more. It's true.
Whack.
Then, after Trump said he didn't want to date Iran's supreme leader, Iran released this AI video threatening a nuclear attack. And the supreme leader vowed to give the world an event it wouldn't forget for 100 years within 24 hours. But 24 hours later, just like the cursed everyone loves to say it, but in the end, Megar and the Mamado很安全.
You, fuck you.
But if you ask me, the supreme leader's threat was way more effective than Trump's, because after he made it, I genuinely couldn't sleep.
The supreme leader of Iran said that they will not surrender.
Say good luck.
Now the whole world is waiting to see if Trump will drop the biggest US bunker buster, aka the GBU-57AB, aka the giant black unit Usiti Gongfen all beef on the supreme leader's head, letting him feel just how the GBU goes deep.
Why are you gay?
Now you might wonder, why did Israel take the initiative to attack Iran? For all their claims of being afraid, it seems like they're always the ones who are smacking others first. And that's a fair question. So let's hear how Iranians themselves answer it.
So basically, Iran, there's two types of Islam. There's Shia Islam and Sunni Islam. The regime in Iran subscribes to 12 Shia Islam. So the reason it's called 12 Shia Islam is because they believe that the descendants of the original prophet Muhammad is not the correct lineage of the prophets. It's of his son-in-law and cousin. So the 12th Imam, which was Prophet Mahdi, so there's this theory called Mahdiism. This Prophet Mahdi was said to have gone into occultation, so he went into hiding around 937 CE. So he's gone into hiding, he's gone into occultation, and the theory is that the final prophet emerges once there is once justice and equality has been achieved in the world. And the thing that achieves this justice is that the last drop of blood of Israel falls. So the end of Israel brings back the final prophet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never heard this. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So it's a religious thing. It's a prophecy.
It is,
thing.
yeah.
So they need to destroy Israel.
They need to destroy Israel, correct. So that's
for
why...
the prophecy to be fulfilled.
Exactly.
If Trump is starring in The Simpsons and Israel is in Mission Impossible, then Iran is playing straight up Dune, destroying an entire nation just to fulfill a prophecy.
The second IRGC is created in Lebanon, which is Hezbollah. So after the revolution is successful, Assad comes to Iran to congratulate Khomeini and says, what do you need? And Khomeini says, we need a passage to Lebanon to create this second army to destroy Israel. So they go through Syria, and they come down in northern Lebanon. At the same time, this is like around the same time that, remember, Israel's now in southern Lebanon. And this is why the Western world often says that Hezbollah was created in response to Israel's occupation. Well, that's completely false. First of all, Israel was occupying the south of Lebanon at the time to remove the PLO that were throwing rockets into Israel. And in fact, the Lebanese in the south were actually allying with Israel to help take out the PLO, the SLA. Hezbollah's coming down in the north, and it's basically killing everybody who's not submitting to their rule. Even Shiite Muslims, Sunnis, Christians, basically everyone. They start engaging in a series of terrorist attacks, bombing the American embassy in Beirut, kidnapping Americans, killing them. Then it goes into like the kind of Iran-Contra affair, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Anyway, the whole point is that this regime creates its proxies in order to start satisfying its goal, which is the destruction of Israel. And that's how it ends up also funding and providing training and assistance to Hamas and the Houthis, basically one in furtherance of the same goal.
Simply put, for Israel, Iran launched a terrorist attack targeting Israeli civilians on October the 7th. For Israel, especially the Mossad agents, any attack on Israelis will be remembered and always avenged. And it ain't no secret that Mossad is one of the world's most capable intelligence agencies, and an eye for an eye is their code.
Particularly after we know that China was sending flights, cargo flights into Iran. What is on those planes?
Yeah, we don't know, but we know this isn't good because those planes are turning off their transponders as they approach Iranian airspace. China is sending something it doesn't want the world to know. It could be ammunition, could be drones, pretty unlikely about that, but it also could be nuclear weapons. We just don't know.
Unbelievable.
So in the end, Iran was bankrolling Palestine and Lebanon in its attack on Israel. But that leaves a bigger, more important question. Who exactly is supporting Iran? In the case of Mossad, who is the bigger, much more important enemy?
Yeah, if we go back to March 2023, it looked like China was going to drive the U.S. out of the region. That's the month where China brokered that deal between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Last year in July, China got 14 Palestinian factions to go to Beijing to sign what's called the Beijing Declaration, the Unity Pact. So we were sort of on the back foot. But with President Trump going to the region last month, that's really triumphal trip, and Israel targeting Iran, which is China's proxy. The Iranians don't think they're a proxy of anyone, but the Chinese think Iran is a proxy. And China's been fully supporting Iran's attack on Israel. So right now, China's policies in the Middle East are just in tatters.
If you want to know exactly who the U.S. will target in the next war, look no further than Hollywood action movies and right-wing news. This report got over 1 million views in less than 10 hours. The main point? Why does Iran keep attacking Israel?
China, because China.
Warships from Iran, China and Russia have commenced their annual joint exercises in the Gulf of Oman today, showcasing their military ties amidst significant shifts in Western alliances under US President Donald Trump's leadership. The Security Belt 2025 drills, taking place near the Iranian port of Chabahar, mark the 5th collaborative naval exercise between these three powers since 2019.
The close relationship between China and Iran's theocratic regime is no secret. For years, Iran, with China's help, has been supporting Hamas and Hezbollah in attacking Israel. Just 3 months ago, Iran and China completed a joint military exercise, and Israel immediately slapped Xi Jinping in the face by wiping out Iran's entire cabinet, costing Xi a lot of honey and several good friends.
当前中东地区局势紧张敏感，面临失控的风险。 中方反对任何违反联合国宪章宗旨和原则、侵犯别国主权安全和领土完整的行为，反对在国际关系中使用或威胁使用武力。国际社会，特别是有影响力的大国，应秉持公正立场和负责任态度，为推动停火止战、重回对话谈判创造条件，避免地区局势滑向深渊，引发更大的灾难。
Opposing the threat of force in international relations? That's gotta be the most ridiculous, stupid thing I've ever heard. China has been threatening our country for decades, and then when their friend catches a little bit of smoke, they go off and say something like,
"Oh, 你们都是坏人呢 follow the rule, don't threaten people 啊，不要打架哦。"
This is like someone coming up and saying to me,
"Nigga, go to hell, you bastard. I hate people who curse."
This ain't swangbiao or even double standard. This is just straight up insanity.
The official launch date for the China-Iran Railway has been announced, marking a significant step forward in regional connectivity and international trade. This project is set to facilitate the transport of substantial amounts of low-cost Iranian oil to China, sparking online discussions with comments like, "When will the US recognize its miscalculations?"
Over 50% of China's oil supply comes from the Persian Gulf. And who controls the Persian Gulf? Iran. And not only does Iran control it, but 3 months ago, Iran and China established a railway known as the Five Nations Railway Corridor that runs from Iran through Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, all the way to China. And in a potential 2027 Chinese invasion of Taiwan, everyone knows the most critical resource is oil.
A well-integrated China-Iran railway would unlock vast economic opportunities across Eurasia, positioning China at the center of intercontinental trade, while deepening its financial and infrastructural ties with Europe, Asia, and Africa. This connectivity would create new economic hubs, reduce transportation costs, and increase efficiency, making trade more sustainable in the long run. Iran's strategic location as a vital gateway between Asia and Europe makes it an indispensable partner in China's Belt and Road Initiative. By investing in Iranian infrastructure, China is not only strengthening bilateral relations, but also laying the groundwork for a broader Eurasian trade network. If fully realized, this vision could redefine global commerce and reshape international economic diplomacy in ways that could have long-lasting implications.
Now, for China, Iran, the US, and every Middle Eastern country, this railway is crucial. And it may look like a war between Iran and Israel, but the impact on Taiwan is actually quite massive. This is a straight-up prelude to a Taiwan Strait conflict. But for now, it seems Iran's oppressive government officials and generals have all gone off to party with their 72 virgins. Now, putting aside who's right and who's wrong in this conflict, seeing as my home is in Taiwan, to Israel, all I have to say is,
thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
So, the next 2 weeks, if it even lasts that long, will be the most tense in world history. If the Iranian regime is overthrown by its people, or even better, the giant black unit turning Iran into a pro-American regime, then China will lose control of the Persian Gulf and its precious little railway, resulting in nearly half of China's oil supply falling into the hands of the United States. When it comes to going to war, for China, that's like walking into a fight while the enemy already has one of your balls in its grip.
You are gay.
But that's just me. With this crazy international situation, what do you think is going to happen next? Will the Supreme Leader Areola finally get his 72 virgin Diddy party? Will the Orange Man send in the troops? Let me know what you think down below. Remember to keep it civil, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side. Peace!